I made a video titled Delete Instagram Now, and I've just received word directly from Instagram that they've banned me. In the video that I made about Instagram, I criticized the platform and social media in general with the impact that it has on your mental health. I encouraged my viewers and I led this revolution, this movement, to say that I'd be taking a step back from social media. And at the very least, I would be doing a 1-week detox. And so I encouraged people to deactivate their account, to delete the app, take a week off and just see how you feel, see if we can improve our mental health, because we know what these platforms are doing to us. It's no surprise now that your mental health is fucked because of social media, because of these social comparisons. When you go onto this platform and you see people in this algorithm, when this algorithm forces people who are more attractive, more successful, happier than you, with their happy faces and their photoshopped selfies, and you see this day in, day out, hundreds of people who are better than you. And the neuroticism that comes, like this anxiousness that comes from posting your own content. And as much as you want to act like you're a confident person who doesn't care about likes, bro, it fucks with your mind. It's supposed to. It's particularly designed in a way to fuck with your brain. It's very easy for some Instagram rep to come in here and apologize and say like, oh, well, it was just one of our one of those automated checks that deletes someone's account or, deactivates and bans their account. But we know what the truth is. What you see before you, this is a revolution. This is a cult. This is a new movement of young people realizing how fucked we are because of modern technology, like social media, porn, and video games. And these nerds in the Silicon Valley, they don't want to see us winning. They care more about their shareholders' profits than you, your family, and your friends, and your mental health. They have blood on their hands from the people who have killed themselves because of mental health problems. But they don't mind because these nerds and these senior executives at fucking Facebook make $500K a year, $1 million a year. And that's fine for them to just think like, oh, well, no, it's the user's responsibility to look after themselves. They've designed these platforms particularly to be addictive. To make you emotional, to fuck with your brain. Since I've been posting on YouTube, I've been posting my learning lessons of my development into a man who's prioritizing his mental health, who's trying to become stronger, more masculine. From the start, I've criticized social media. It was in the last 7 months where I started using Instagram again, and I thought I was using it productively because I was posting for my boys, my audience, and I was showing you real clips of my day-to-day life. So on Instagram, you often see Photoshop pictures and this persona that people put on. But what I like to do was take short videos throughout my real day-to-day life, put them into an edited reel, which was kind of fun to make because you line it up with a song that you like, and then I would post it. So you would literally see a realistic, just unfiltered day in the life video. You'd see what time I woke up, what food I was eating, what training I did in the gym, what work I was doing, what book I was reading, literally. And it was quite a wholesome way. But even then, it's been just over a week since I've been using Instagram, and I feel so much better. Up until I just saw that notification that my account has been deactivated or banned on the platform. And I logged in on my PC, so I've not had it on my phone, but I've been onto it on PC 3 times to message my barber and to message people who I don't have their numbers to get their numbers. Go onto it, straight away it just says, okay, your account's been deactivated, you can appeal here or some shit. You click on the appeal and it says, oh, well, you can't appeal. And you know what? It hurt. I've been saying all of this, bro. As soon as I saw that message, I'll be just completely honest with you, it fucking hurt. It made me anxious. It reduced my self-image in a sense. I saw it and straight away I visualized meeting someone new and being unable to kind of exchange Instagrams and say oh, well, this is my Instagram, please validate me. Because, you know, this is how we judge each other these days, just your fucking portfolio on Instagram. And my Instagram profile, my portfolio was good. Honestly, this is why it was so hard for me to take a step back, because I had just under 80,000 followers. I had good pictures. I was broadcasting like a very good, attractive life. I've been on like 7 holidays this year. This was now finally the time where I'm blowing my Instagram up. I'm about to hit 100K. I'm feeling so good. And then I just see that message, even though I didn't even want to use Instagram again, even though I've deleted it from my phone and I've made a video saying delete Instagram now, and, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to use it, it's bad for you, I'd happily take a life with no Instagram. And as soon as I've seen it, now I've got FOMO again, bro. Do you see how they're fucking my brain, bro? I've got FOMO from the platform that I fucking hate and I didn't even want to be on. Oh, what if, you know, someone's posting, so what if, like, the people from my gym, they don't know that I'm gonna be forgotten now? Everyone's gonna forget about me now. This is how they want you to feel. This is how they have particularly designed their entire platform and all the systems, because they want you to feel like shit without it. They want you to feel like you'll miss out on your social life. Think about how inhumane that is when they know these are not dumb people. These are very, very smart, educated people. They know how important social connection is. They know how detrimental loneliness is. Social isolation. They know these things, and they've particularly designed these apps to make sure that you feel those extremely negative emotions in all uses of the app. You post a picture and the notifications that appear, like, you know, the red thing, and it shows like, oh, likes and followers. That shade of red has been meticulously optimized. You know, the smallest fucking, just the shade of it. They've tested every shade of every color to know that that is the one that is most optimum for you to be hooked on. For it to like fuck with like the hormones that are produced by your brain and like the dopamine receptors. How the algorithm shows you posts is incredibly smart. It doesn't just show you exactly what you want to see. Because if it did, every single post would be significant, it'd be consequential, it'd be, you know, in eliciting some kind of positive emotion. You would see a post and be like, oh wow, and then see the next one and oh wow, and wow. Every single post would be amazing. That's not what happens, is it? What happens when you actually use Instagram or TikTok? There's a post which is really funny, really interesting, really sexual, really like captivates your attention, your emotion. Wow, amazing. And then it's like, oh, nothing for a while. Oh, this one's kind of interesting. Like, here's someone being racist. Here's like a celebrity being racist or something. Oh wow, like, and oh, like a meme. This is how you laugh when you see a meme on social media. That's it. That's what you trade 2 hours every single day for. It's like, oh, well, it's my entertainment and I enjoy memes. This is how you laugh when you see memes on fucking social media. That is what you've traded a significant portion of your time and your mental health for. That's like the height of the value that we actually get from these platforms. And they've convinced us in a very, very manipulative way for our own brains to argue for the use of Instagram, for the use of social media. Because you know, right here, right now, you know that it's bad for you. You know objectively that it's bad for you. Overall, it is bad for you. And yet, you would have had some thoughts watching this. Oh, but I need it for X. What he's saying is probably right, but it's not exactly relevant for me because here's my use of Instagram and it's different. I promise it's different. I need it because there's people I need to talk to. You know what's fucked? That is not your own brain talking. What I've found is this very interesting dynamic. So I've spent the last 2 weeks really like, you know, starting a fucking movement and telling people like, you know, it's bad for you, like fucking delete Instagram now, bro. You won't regret it. And every excuse that someone builds up, this is fucking weird when I explain it to you. It's not them talking. It's the software developers, it's the nerds at Silicon Valley who are saying those things outside of their fucking brain. So I meet someone, you know, it's my friend or something, and we're talking about this, or I'm talking to a girl and we're talking about the issues of Instagram. And the initial objections that someone would give and say like, oh, well, you know, it sounds good that you've deleted it, but I really can't do it because of X. That isn't you talking. That isn't you thinking. They've meticulously designed these apps in a way where you will argue for them. And it's only as soon as you unshackle yourself from the app that you take a step back, then you realize it and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that argument I've been making all this time isn't even that important. I've been taking a hit to my mental health and my time management every single day for hours because of the convenience of, like, the argument was like, oh, but I've got people I've got to message on there. They're more active than I thought they would be, you know. They're a lot more active. They specifically have employees who are designed to keep retention high. Retention is like, you know, making sure you stay on the platform. And I assume a branch of that section of Facebook and Instagram is specifically in the employees who are checking up and making sure to, like, silence and censor people who speak ill of mental health, who speak ill of the mental health effects of social media. Because this is not a coincidence. Some Instagram rep can say this to me eventually, maybe if this video gets, like, sent to them or some shit and someone tweets it and it goes viral or something, but, you know, some Instagram rep can say, oh, well, it was just an error in our system and your account's been hacked. Bro, I don't want it back. As much as, like, a part of my brain, like the Jeffrey part of my brain, the weak part of my brain really craves it. It's like, please give it back to me. Please give my Instagram account back, because then when I meet someone, I can show them that I've got 80,000 followers and they might actually like me. And then maybe girls will validate me. That weak part of my brain wants it back, bro. The conscious prefrontal cortex, the most developed part of my brain, does not, because I understand the detriments of this. These motherfuckers are looking around on the platform for people who speak ill of it. They don't want to see you create some distance away from how they make money from you. And they are making money from you. By being on social media, you are a slave. You are a slave who's still totally connected to the matrix. You think that it's a free platform. You don't, when you download the app from the App Store, you don't pay anything, do you? Instead, what you pay for, or what you pay with, is your life, your mental health, your relationships, your time. It might be a free app on the App Store, but it's the most expensive app that you can have. Looking back at my use of Instagram now, like, I have, like, a sense of, like, disgust. That I was using it every single day for more than an hour, and I'm really a guy who values my time. I really put in so much effort to value my time. It's kind of like an entrepreneur thing. You know, once you start getting into, like, business and success, you really start valuing your time. And yet I was spending more than an hour a day, and I didn't want to, I didn't mean to. I would go onto it to upload my reel, and I'd end up scrolling, fucking looking at reels and posts, and just at the explore page, just getting sucked into it. And I bet you do the exact same thing. They know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. And it's no coincidence at all that they're trying to, like, silence my message, that they're trying to stop our movement, our revolution. If you're new to all this and maybe this video has just been recommended to you, what you see before you is a revolution of young men who are now refusing to live like the normal modern weak life that's been handed to us. We're no longer jacking off watching porn. We're no longer playing video games. We're no longer eating shitty processed junk food that's decreasing, that's tanking our testosterone levels. We're no longer just scrolling hours and hours and hours on social media trying to get validation from people we don't even give a fuck about. We're conserving all of our mental power, our energy, our time for ourselves and our own developments so that we can be perhaps the minority of men who aren't depressed, anxious, and suicidal. So that we can be the minority of people who are actually happy, mentally healthy. That's rare these days. What you see before you is a revolution against these modern addictions that have taken away our friends and our family. When you click on a video by me, understand that this is not a normal YouTube video. Understand that this is not a normal YouTube channel. You won't find any fucking 7 tips to become... Shut the fuck up. I don't know where you are in your journey in terms of improving your mental health and taking a step back from these modern addictions. Hopefully you're not one of the guys who are totally sucked into this. But wherever you are, there is progress to be made. Developing yourself as a man takes sacrifices, and needing to sacrifice something like social media, porn, and video games, the return on investment is worth it. But it is incredibly hard to take that first step. I hope that what you can see before you in my own journey is something that can inspire you and make you feel like you're not taking that step alone. That if you've considered the negative effects of social media and you've been thinking it's unacceptable and you've always had it in your mind that, you know, it's bad for you, you're wasting so much time, you keep seeing like ass and tits and it's like fucking up your mental health. You see all these naked girls and you see guys who are more successful and everything. It just fucks your brain. If you've been thinking like this for a while and you've wanted to take a break, bro, now is the time. Now is the time. There's effective ways of taking a step back from this life. And you will learn about them through the videos that I've been posting. The purpose of this movement that you see before you, this revolution, is to help young men improve themselves so that we can live a healthy, happy life. A life of strength and discipline, productivity, fulfillment. We strive to become like the ultimate male Adonis. That is like the guy who has life hit in all angles. He's mentally healthy, but he's wealthy, he's rich. But he's not like that rich, depressed kind of, you know, like guy who has to work 20 hours a day and doesn't see his family. He loves his family. He's the tribe leader. He's masculine, but he's not an asshole. He hits life from all angles, and that is like the new age movement. You're now seeing like that one pillar, one-dimensional man is becoming extinct. It's no longer special for a guy to just be rich anymore, or for a guy to just be attractive. We're hitting life from all angles, and improving your mental health is such a big one. I can't wait for you to experience the positive effects of that. When your brain finally stops processing like these negative, belittling thoughts about yourself, when you start feeling like you're good enough. That's one of the best feelings ever, is to feel like you're good enough. And that, for some weird counterintuitive way, actually makes you more fueled up to make more progress. And you feel good enough when you don't see this shit on your phone, when you don't see these hundreds of guys, thousands of guys who are more muscular, more successful than you, when you don't see all of these girls just showing ass and stuff, and it fucks your brain to see like so much like sexual content which isn't in real life. When you improve your mental health, everything else improves. And that's why I have no respect for these Silicon Valley nerds. That's why I have no respect for these platforms, because they know what they're doing. They know that they're fucking your mental health. They know that they're fucking your family's mental health. They know that people are killing themselves because of this, but they continue to just expand with their pathetic like mental health week, awareness week or some shit, just as like a cover up, because they know what they're doing. And they will try to silence you. They will try to stop you. They have implanted like beliefs and attitudes inside of you that when you consider taking a step back from the platform, their implanted beliefs in your mind start to light up and say, oh wait, number one, what if I lose validation? No, number two, What if I meet someone and they don't see my Instagram? Number 3, what if I miss a DM from someone? Number 4, like, they've implanted these fucking beliefs deep inside of your brain and you don't even realize it yet. When you realize just how brainwashed you are, when you realize just how much of your attitudes and beliefs have been influenced by this platform that has virtually zero benefit for you. And straight away, as soon as I said virtually zero benefit, your brain started processing. That implanted belief of the nerds started processing in your brain. These nerds are smart. Trust me when I say these nerds are smart. They've already considered that something like this would happen. They microdose LSD, they microdose fucking psilocybin. They take small amounts of drugs to like change up their psyche so that they can get more ideas to keep you on the platform. You are up against an army of intelligent, optimized nerds, each of them competing against each other. They already knew that you would be in this position at some point, hearing these words, considering leaving Instagram, and their implanted beliefs will keep highlighting into your brain and say, nope, Hamza, actually, yeah, you're wrong, because there is some kind of benefit, because I've got to message people. That is not you talking. That is not you talking. Any defense of social media, porn, and video games, trust me when I say, as much as this is hard to believe for some people, any defense for them have been implanted by the nerds and not by you. They have meticulously created their entire systems in a way where these thoughts will pop into your mind when they're challenged. Because as soon as you take a step back, or you hear the stories of people who take a step back, they gave the exact same excuses as you, but then you see their success story and taking a step back from these addictive platforms, and then they look back at the excuses they were given and saying, oh yeah, well, like, none of that was valid anyway. Bro, for the longest time, I didn't delete Instagram because I literally thought, well, I need it for validation. Like, obviously, I wasn't consciously saying, validation, but like, I need it because if I meet someone and, it's a really nice way to text each other and like, there's people I've got a message, like, I said this in a previous video, bro. If there's people you've got a message on Instagram who don't have your phone number, they are not important. They are not important. If someone doesn't have your phone number, you don't even think they're important. It's as simple as that. If someone doesn't have your phone number, you do not think they're important. So to say like, oh, well, I'll keep sacrificing my mental health and increase my risk of suicide just so I can message this person is a fucking low ROI. The only kind of person who should be using something like Instagram is someone whose business is directly on there. Someone whose business, whose like leads, like customers, comes directly from Instagram, which is not even 99% of business owners. So many guys say, oh, well, it's for business. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. If you're selling to someone on Instagram, fair enough. We are living in some dark times. When I think about the effect that social media, porn, and video games have on our generation, there's that quote, weak men create hard times. And these are weak men. They are intelligent, extremely intelligent nerds, senior executives at Facebook, with their stock IPOs and all this fucking fancy corporate bullshit. But they are weak men. They are men who have chosen to corrupt the world and to destroy the minds of millions in exchange for a paycheck. And I've criticized software developers for this before, and a bunch of these little nerds come in into the comments and say, like, oh, well, it's not our fault because the senior... Shut the fuck up. Take some responsibility like a man. Weak men create hard times, and I honestly am now beginning to realize that the hard times are already amongst us. And when I just visualize a certain small minority of men in our cults amongst the millions, billions of Jeffreys, I'm starting to see the shift. I'm starting to see the next chapter of this pattern. And it is that hard times create strong men. I am seeing strong men rise. Right now it's interesting because the strong men who are rising are almost like a laughing stock. They're almost like the weird ones. You see how the community, like the YouTube pages, react to like alpha males. Because just right now, the alpha males who are revolting and, you know, like shouting about Instagram and stuff, they're not necessarily needed just yet. Total chaos hasn't broken out just yet. But more and more and more and more people will start to realize like, oh fuck, we need these strong men. We need these leaders who are like rising up and telling people, save yourself, rising up and teaching you, inspiring you how to like improve your mental health, how to make sure you don't fucking kill yourself. Right now, it's almost like a laughing stock. There's people who look at the work we do here and literally cringe and like laugh at us and say, oh, we're gay, we're over dramatic. It's just social media. They're not the enemy, honestly. And I know that it's very easy for us to see normal people who use these apps and, you know, who just watch Netflix all day and guys who just watch porn. They are weak, but they are not the enemy. Those are the people who need us, and so does your family, your friends, so do yourself. There is a pain inside of me realizing that I will not have this part of my life, because I will not go back to Instagram. I will not go back to Instagram. I assume I could make like another account or something. I will not go back. And there is pain associated with that. There is the pain of the fear of missing out, of loss, of the sunk cost fallacy, that, you know, I had like the profile that was built up and I had shirtless pictures that was getting me validation, and like girls were finding my profile, and like I'd meet a new girl and show her my profile and she'd be impressed because I had so many followers, and I'd meet a guy and she'd, oh, you know, get me on Instagram, bro. And I've got 70,000 and he's asking me like, wow, how do you have so many followers? And oh my God, you know, you've got pictures with like 70 guys. Like, are they your audience? Are they your fans? Oh, look, you're shirtless in this one. 10,000 likes. 10,000 likes, bro. I was getting 10,000 likes on my fucking selfie. I feel weird. I feel in pain for not having that anymore. But at the same time, I just see this visualization. Perhaps it's a bit like extreme in the peaceful side, but I see the life of just being on Instagram, fucking forward neck posture, depressed, suicidal, anxious, neurotic, just checking likes, looking at pictures, constantly just fucked brain because you're looking at girls who are showing ass and everything. And on the other side, I see the life of someone who just doesn't really use much modern technology. And it's like it's like a symbolic like field and a mountain, and they're just kind of like running around in the roses and shit. And obviously it's like, you don't just delete Instagram and suddenly you're like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm running in the grass now. But honestly, like, your life does probably push that way. And I just saw that, wow. I just saw that life, that visualization of, you know, like, oh, this is what life would be like without social media. And, you know, you're happy, you're present, you're spending more time in nature with your family and your friends. And then I thought about having a relationship with a girl who also feels the same way, who also isn't on Instagram, and we're just both disconnected from like the modern technology that's fucking everyone up, that's fucking relationships up. Because quite frankly, bro, if I see people who are in relationships and they both have Instagram and they use it for hours a day, you know for a fact their relationship is going to end. Like, I'm not going to rant or anything about that, but like, it just saddens me when I see a loving couple who are so active on Instagram that you know for a fact their relationship is going to end, specifically because of the pressure that builds from seeing all these other happy couples, seeing all these other attractive people. I visualized being with a girl who is so disconnected from this modern technology, just like I am. I don't go on social media. Like, I record videos. I'm a content creator, not a consumer. I don't play video games. I don't watch porn. I don't watch reality TV. I haven't seen the news in years. I live in like a very present state. I read books. I spend time in nature. I spend like four hours a day in the gym. My workout's not that long, obviously, but I just like just being there and just like talking to people and everything. And I just thought about like meeting a girl like that, who's also disconnected, who also doesn't have an Instagram, or if she does, like, she's deleted it and she's taken a step back from it. And it got very significant thinking about this life, and then just thinking about having children. Because when it's time to have children, is that when you expect to stop using Instagram, bro? Is that what your uncertain plan is? Like, oh, well, you know, I know it's bad for me right now. I know it's fucking me up. But like, oh yeah, you know, if I was gonna have children, like, I'd make sure they don't go on social media. Well, guess what, bro? You don't teach your children anything. You role model for them. Your children don't learn, they imitate. What will your future son imitate? And I'm just gonna be totally honest. I would slap you if your future son would imitate you. Forward neck posture, weakness, scrolling on social media, jacking off in the toilet. What will your future son imitate? What will your future daughter imitate from the mother, from your wife, from your partner? Will your future daughter imitate being bent over, taking pictures, because that's the kind of woman that you've chosen to have children with? With your future son be fucked in the brain, jacking off when he's 8 years old, 10 years old, because that's what the kind of man that you are, and you're seeing all this sexual content. As soon as I saw this life, this, you know, oh, I'm running around in the mountains and there's grass everywhere, instead of like, you know, oh, I'm in technology, oh. And then I started seeing it more and more. Oh, you know, there's a girl who I'm in love with and who I've got a relationship with, and she doesn't use it either. And we're kind of like that, like, kind of the weird couple who's really present and really loving, and like, because we don't fucking poison our brains with social media and porn and everything. And then we go on to have children. My son will never even consider using social media. And that's not because I'll sit him down and teach him about the benefits or anything, because if that's your plan, you're a fucking pussy. If that's your plan to think, oh, well, I'll use the bad stuff, but I'll try to make sure shut the fuck up. That is not how parenting works. Your children will do as you do. And if you act like a Jeffrey, bro, you're gonna raise a Jeffrey. If you act like a modern drone, like a fucking NPC, and a person who's AFK, like most people are these days, if you're addicted to social media and you have children 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're addicted to video games, you can tell your child as much as you want, like, oh yeah, you know, this is like this is the dynamic of like the parent who's a smoker and then tells their child, like, oh, you know, smoking's really bad for you, make sure you shut the fuck up. The alcoholic parent who tells their child, like, oh, don't drink, it's really, shut the fuck up. Take some fucking responsibility. Change yourself. Improve yourself first. Your children do not learn. They imitate. What will your child imitate from you? Because if he sees you just forward neck posture on social media, just scrolling, looking at other women instead of your wife, your partner, that's exactly what your son will end up doing too. So whilst I do feel some, like, you know, some pain and some FOMO right now, like, I'm going to keep my vision on that. I'm going to keep my identity for my son and my daughter. Because when they grow up in a household with two parents that don't even use this shit, of course, you know, they're going to feel a little bit weird. Like, this is, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're going to feel a bit weird. It's going to be like virtual reality shit in, like, I was going to say in school, but this is a fucking side tangent. I'm not even sending my kids to school, bro. Fuck that. I am very privileged that I'm kind of wealthy, so it's like I can afford to like homeschool them and get like tutors and nannies and everything. But fuck that, bro. I know that's a side rant, but holy fuck. Just imagine this, bro, before I end this video. Imagine you have children. Imagine you've done so well in your own self-improvement journey. You know, you've been learning about mental health. You've taken a step back from social media and everything. You meditate every day. You're teaching these things to your children, even when they're young. You've got your 2-year-old little daughter fucking sat next to you, like, meditating. Fucking hell. That was such a beautiful, quick, like, little visualization. I literally just saw, like, my little baby girl just sat next to me meditating and living, like, such a different life. That's so fucking beautiful. And then imagine sending your child to school and then them being sat round next to their pupils, you know, their peers, who are all on their smartphones. The modern world we live in is very fucked, bro. You can do everything right as a parent, but with the social conditioning, the social norms around you, the modern technologies, I fear for our children. I really do. I really fear for them. I fear for ourselves. I fear for the state of the world. This is not a game. This is not like just a casual video. This is not just a casual thing to keep in mind and, you know, like, oh, it's a quickly just eat my food whilst I watch this video of some guy ranting about Instagram. Bro, this is very fucking deep. This is very, very deep. Millions of people are suicidal because of this shit. And the social pressure that's caused because everyone's on these platforms, and so if you take a step back, you feel very isolated. I think I will manage it pretty well. I think a big part is like I am like a YouTuber as well, so it's like I've got a community here, and like I have no social media on my phone. I don't have Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I have none of that. I literally have WhatsApp, but that's not social media to me. It's literally just texting people. That's what I use to text. I think YouTube gives me like a platform to still feel somewhat connected, which is very nice, and it is related to, like, you know, being productive. I'm creating content, so I do have like a barrier there. I think that I will manage this fine, but I fear for that dynamic of like raising a child and then them just living in a world so isolated when everyone else, every other person that my child meets is just a fucking drone. It's just addicted, and they're not bad people. They're not the enemy. My children are going to be lonely. I make these videos. I'm not going to lie. I do lie, okay? I lie to you and say that I make these videos for your benefit, that I make these videos to help young men. It's not a total lie because it is partially true. I do deeply, deeply care about that, but I make these videos for my own selfish benefit, and you can see this in some of the old videos that I've posted. I've literally outwardly told you my honest plan. And the real reason why I make these videos is because I want more friends. I want more people who are taking a step back from social media. I want to like spread this message so wide that when I go, like, you know, I'm doing something random and I meet someone, it's like, here's a guy who also meditates, here's a guy who also journals, here's a guy who's like healed his childhood trauma, here's a guy who goes to the gym consistently, he's taken a step back from like shitty junk food, he feels mentally and physically and spiritually happy, and so when I meet him, it's like my benefit in a sense. You know, it'd be so awesome for me to say like, oh, well, I don't care about ones, but that is, honestly, it's one of the biggest reasons why I do this work. And then the deeper level of that is that I want my children to have friends. I want my entire generation to be influenced by this movement, as many millions of people that we can impact. I want to impact so many millions of people who hear this message, you know, to take a step back from social media, porn, video games, shitty junk food, all the modern shit that's fucked us up. I want us to take a step back from that so that we can connect how we're supposed to, so that we can reverse the tides of loneliness and depression and anxiety and suicide, so that we can enjoy that. But then more importantly, I want to do this so that when I have children, my children might be able to make friends like with your children, and you've been on self-improvement for a while. You have children, I have children, and now they can actually connect, because they're not going to have many other friends, bro. They're not going to have many other friends when, like, the childrens of all the fucking Jeffreys of the world are going to be glued to, like, an iPad when they're 6 months old. That's the vision that I see. And if that is the vision that you want to create into a reality, then welcome to my revolution. Welcome to my cult. We are a cult of young men who are absolutely fixated on improving ourselves and living how life is supposed to be. When you see my videos on your YouTube homepage, remind yourself that this is not just a normal YouTube video. There is an underlying, inspiring message for this. And the most important part of that message is to prioritize your mental health. Click this video to learn more right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!